Hey everybody, Travis at Tricks of the Trade. Today I wanted to work on a little bit of basic theory that can help you with your blues and some jazz playing. Specifically, I wanted to address what 1-4-5 chord progression means. I know that term gets thrown around a lot, and some people that are unfamiliar with what it means can get a little confused or intimidated by it. And it's really not that complicated. So I just wanted to try to break it down a little bit for you. Basically, it's referring to the first, fourth, and fifth note in an 8-note major scale. So if we go to the key of C, then the C is the 1, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then back to the 1. So it's really just a 7-note major scale, I should say that, because once you get up to 8, it's just the 1 again. And that's really all it is. So C is the 1, 2, 3, F is the 4, and G is the 5. So if you say a C1-4-5, then the 3 chords would be a C chord, an F chord, and a G chord. Obviously, if you were playing blues, it'd probably be more or some kind of a variation of that to make it sound more bluesy. So that's basically all it really is. Now, the thing to keep in mind is that to make that major scale, it's easy in C, and that's why I started with C. But if you're going to transpose your song, and if you're playing a blues in A, that A major scale is not going to be all white notes. So it's not just as simple as going 1, 2, 3, 4. And basically, to get into just a little bit of theory behind what a major scale is, you just have to remember that it's all about the intervals between the notes. So the simple mnemonic trick that everyone uses is whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. And what that simply means is that a half step is when you go from a note to a half step. It's literally the next note that you could possibly hit. A whole step is when it skips that. So here's a half step, C to a D flat is a half step, C to a D is a whole step. So in the key of C, it's very easy to go whole step, half step, whole step, half step by hitting all white notes. Let's try it. A whole step up to D, because you skipped that one. A whole step up to E, because you skipped that one. But then just a little half step to F. Whole step, half step. And then whole step, half step, up to C. Now, in the case of, let's say, even G, it's just a teeny little bit more complicated because you have to hit one black note. Whole step, half step, whole step, but then to do this next whole step, you have to go up to that F sharp and then to G. So that still doesn't really affect your 1-4-5 in G as far as being able to play all white notes, because I'm still able to go, there's the 4 and the 5, G, C, D. But in the case of F, it will, because in F, if F is the 1, whole step, now your half step is going to give you that black note. So that's actually the 4 in F. So that makes it just a little bit more complicated. So 1-4-5 in F is F, and then B flat is that 4, and then C. Once again, it's not anything too crazy, but it is something to keep in mind. And as you go further away from C, and we'll get into this more later, the cycle of fifths and all that, the further away you get from C, the more black notes you're going to have to hit just to make a major scale. So that's when it starts getting a little bit more complicated. If you're in E flat and you want to play a 1, 4, 5, everything is going to be a black note. 1, 4, and 5. So that's basically really all that is. Once again, just go up the 4 and then the 5. That's all that 1, 4, 5 means. And that numerical system is a great way to communicate with people on stage, because instead of saying G or E or D, trying to call changes in a loud bar with a loud band, you can just say 1, 4, 5, or you can even just hold out fingers to show what number you're going to. A lot of times you'll see someone just hold out 4 fingers, and that means to go to the 4 chord. It's just a kind of an easier mode of communication in situations like that. So that's about it for today. I don't want to clog your brain up too much. Check it out on your own keyboard. Just kind of mess around with it. Maybe go down to some different keys, and remember that whole step, half step, whole step, half step. Find the major scales in any different key, and then you'll be able to find your 1, your 4, and your 5. I hope you enjoy yourself. Thanks for tuning in.